Hello, I am the maniacal Dr. Watson. Welcome back to Sunless Skies. I'm having a lot of fun playing this. I went ahead and spent some time in between episodes and looked at the fact that for officers, so we have a goal of needing to talk to these guys, and we need a savage secret in order to do that. So I think that's one thing that we should be looking for at the moment. So if we get the chance, I think we actually had the chance to get one, which is why I'm saying that. And I'm now realizing I'm gonna sort of hope that the quest tracker that's keeping track of the thing we're supposed to do here will tell me when 15 days have passed, because otherwise I don't really have a way of checking that. And we're kind of heading up here. We could swing by there and swing up here, but I think that would take too much fuel and too much time. If anything, we'll go past Port Avon up to here and then come back around to it. I think that'd be better. So with that, let's get off. Also, I haven't been using the cruise feature, which I somewhat realize is actually... I bet you they probably added that into this game as a complaint from the first one, because you'd spend quite a bit of time just sort of holding the forward button, moving, not doing much of anything, sort of paying attention that you don't run immediately into anything, but mostly just slowly moving forward. What? Interesting. The game just froze for me and I don't know why. It may or may not have something to do with the fact that I was spam clicking the cruise button. That guy just isn't having a very good time at the moment. We probably could have killed them, and it would have been worth it in terms of we would have gotten stuff back for doing it, but we're about to go somewhere spooky, probably. Accidentally clicked forward. Sky is cool and blue as ice in the glass. Port Avon. Ooh, recruit a repentant devil. A bucolic village nestled within looming pre-human ruins. The dock is little more than a farmyard. Port Avon's inhabitants quickly tire of visitors, but you may be able to find ways to increase your welcome here before you venture into the village proper. I bet you we just didn't have the money. And I think we have it now. So sure, let's do this. It's another signaler, so we don't really need him. Essential books and a folded greatcoat appear to be his only personal effects. His manner is calm, almost pedantic, and he negotiates his duties and his pay, but you have a sense that he urgently wants to be out of Port Avon. Quiet breeze. Let's just go to Port Avon. Yeah, so we haven't... Okay. So we don't have anything to share. And we aren't welcome. We would need... Saloon stewed gossip or a caddy of dried tea. Okay. Interesting. Oh, this is for a pending prospect. That's why it costs so much. Right. They have a bargain available. 3 verdant seeds. Why? Oh, because I've taken it? New bargains available in 2 days. Dang. Okay. Interesting. That's a lot of money for bronzewood. Damn. Let's just get an additional fuel. And since I don't really think we have the ability to, let's just to do anything here. I meant to say, complete thoughts. That's it. That's all we're gonna do. An incident with the repentant devil. He just got on board. You don't recognize him. Just unrepentantly over a body in the hallway. What did you do? Wait, we don't recognize him. You haven't seen this person before. One of your crew, but the descendant is no one you know. A stranger on your locomotive. Peculiar luggage you brought on board, says one of the crew when some of them have gathered. Wouldn't have thought it would fit in your little bag. First, clean up. It won't do to leave a body in the hall. Then your repentant devil can explain himself. He's still got the blood on his cuffs. Someone he brought on board? He looks younger than most devils, but he is significantly older. His gaze is blank and yellow, a wall against speculation. He grooms his sideburns artfully and knows how to be tactful with less seasoned members of the crew. Ask him about the recently departed. That seems reasonable. Ask him about the state of your soul. He must know how it appears. You needed 1 to 4. We have 2 flaws in our soul. If we had chorister B... Oh, if we had a caged chorister B, we could show it. Memories of Caduceus? If we had a port report of Caduceus? Caduceus Clay? Let's talk about the... Hey, dude, you killed somebody. He was a stowaway, explains the devil indifferently. He's been stalking me for more than a month. I thought I lost him when I came aboard. Then he turned up in my quarters. From the body, he has lifted a clinking bag of souls. Perhaps we can sent to bribe me rather than kill me. He tilts his head to consider the soul collection. Apparently thinks I'm a cheap hire. If so, the devil's gaze reverts to you. I regret to say this is probably not the last time this happens. I may be destined to attract negative attention. Interesting. A secondment? Listen to the devil's suggestion? I want to know how my soul appears. It is not worth much in its present condition, he says plainly. Too flawed. I could cure you of all that if I had time, and if I cared, and if it were not just as easy to take any of a dozen innocent souls in a better state of repair. If you want it improved, you might, I suppose, try your luck at Carillion. Or Carillon. Carillon? Oop. That's it. Okay. Didn't we need to get a caged chorister bee for the dude who's we're waiting to study stuff? That sounds right. Traitors would. Ha 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 ha. I am 5. Yeah. And for whatever reason, gonna willingly go up into a place labeled Traitors Wood. Looking for a filmmaker. Well, we haven't actually gotten to the point. The Pale Wood. Okay. I don't know, is a spookier name than Traitors Wood? Is this like... I don't like the fact that I can't see very far. Why is there just shadow? like thick. Oh, are those trees? Okay. That's spooky. Incautious driver. I came here once, don't remember why. A king, his cup? Okay. Oh, and we immediately found a place. Is this the place we're looking for? Somerset Camp. And we took like 1 point damage because I don't know how to drive straight. The forest's edge. Traitors Wood is a sprawling, secluded forest on the edge of the Reach. Few venture beneath its gloomy boughs, and legend speaks of a king who sleeps under the burrow at the wood's heart. Barrow. It'd be great if I could read. The wood's edge. The wood is a vast and felled giant and fathomless as a great ocean. A campfire, 3 figures draped in scholars' robes huddle around a campfire. Expeditions into the woods deep or the parting glade. So I don't think... Yeah, this doesn't seem to be the place we're looking for. We can buy bronze wood, but it's not very cheap. They have bargain bronze wood. That still isn't very cheap. It's like, what, 2 of these would be like, yeah, like 270? Okay, but we have a place to get bronze wood. Ooh. Campfire. Oh, dang. Dang it. Okay. 3 figures draped in scholar robes huddle around a campfire. They're arguing about kings. A banner in the colors of Somerset London University's most respectable college gleams in the firelight. As you approach, the discussion dies. One of the scholars, a woman with a fierce expression, stands up. Only scholars should be here. Are you one? Are we giving them a gift of supply? No, you're not. But perhaps a gift would persuade them to let you into the camp. They look wretched camped out here. Sure, let's try it. Students of the grave. The vituperative classicist compares your offering with the burnt toast and wanty they have been suppering on. Well, alright, I suppose. The woman is vituperative classicist, her companions, a dismal paleographer, a forlorn young man, an affectless theologian, a handsome youth with an easy smile. They explain that they are here to enter the regent's grave, where they believe a sleeping king lies buried. They do not agree as to the king's identity. Unfortunately, the college has cut our funding. The classicist explains, speak to us if you'd be interested in helping. The shadow of the barrow falls over the camp. A mournful wail carries on the wind. A cluster of scholars has set up camp on the border of the wood. Their funding gone, they struggle to continue the research into whoever is entombed in the regent's grave. The wind howls in the trees, and the skies threaten rain. The scholars huddle in their tents, brooding over papers and conspiring against colleagues. We can ask how we could help. We could speak to any one of the 3, or we could wander the camp. What? Ooh. Is this a hint as to what's gonna happen? kind of want to just go through and talk with all of them. Speak to the dismal paleographer. The forlorn student of medieval manuscripts believes that the Emperor Charlemagne lies in the regent's grave. Okay. How did he get here? I actually know. Wait, okay, interesting. The paleographer's tent is some distance from the rest of the camp and almost in the forest. It is smaller and more worn than the tents of the others. Inside, however, the tent is both warm and sturdy. No rain leaks through the oilskin. The paleographer's inks and reference books and old theater handbills are neatly sorted. The paleographer is at a little wooden desk conjuring the subjunctive. So we could ask about his theory, or we could ask about the other two. Let's actually start. Let's start with the one, the vituperative classicist, what he thinks of his fellow academic. A remarkable scholar and a terrifying goneril. At college, when she trod the boards, he shakes his head. Ancient history now, which is her province, not mine. He makes a strong cup of tea for himself and then offers you the same. Bitterness has curdled her. He sips his drink, then grimaces like this milk. Ugh. Ugh. Let's ask about the feckless theologian. The paleographer is lost in thought. When he answers you, he looks rueful. The three of us were at college together in the same year. We were all interested in the theater, but eventually pursued other things. I hadn't seen him in years, until the Traitors' wood funding came up at the Senate. He sniffs. His intellect is second-rate, but his charm is first class. We can't all be brilliant, he sighs despondently. I am very interested about his theory of why the Holy Roman Emperor Charlemagne is buried in a forgotten tomb in the high wilderness. The king's duty goes on. It's a little strange, I admit. You certainly won't find this in Einhard, but there are legends that say the great king did not leave his people on death and instead sleeps in a barrow, waiting for their hour of need. He almost smiles. You quarry his people. I do not forget that we are British. He pauses for effect. But is our queen not of German parentage? Would not her ancestor look out for her emperor's greatest monarch as she embarks on her most significant endeavor? That seems like a stretch, my guy. Just a small bit of a stretch. Let's ask of the vituperative classicist. Classist? The classists. Too many damn S's. Tent is practical and largely unornamented. The interior is damp from her various walking clothes, which have been scattered across the floor. Old playbills and gaudy costume jewelry hang from the tent ceiling like charms. The classicist is pacing the tent, reading Herodotus while smoking up a storm. Ask the classicist about her theory. The ancient Sumerian deity Inanna is buried in the forgotten tomb in the high wilderness. Ask about the feckless theologian, or ask about the paleographer. Interested about the paleographer. She laughs scornfully, but refuses to be drawn. I will not waste breath on the undeserving. These three seem like fun at parties. Strong opinion. Her invective goes on for an hour as she only remembers to fetch you tea midway through. A liar and a traitor and a fool, she says, spooning it entirely too much sugar. I loathe him. Her hand shakes as she pours. The Queen of Heaven. Isn't it obvious? She rolls her eyes. Fine, I'll tell you what I told the academic senate. The high wilderness is heaven. not as the church conceives it, but as the Sumerians did. A place of stars and chaos and impossible powers, in proximity to and affecting our own world, but far, far removed. She pauses for breath. Inanna, the queen of heaven, entered the underworld in search of her husband and was trapped for a time. That is the myth. This may be the truth. She waves her hand dismissively. Besides, we made some promising discoveries in the wood. Ooh. Let's return to camp. So this guy's just kind of sad. I'm assuming this means scornful to some degree. So let's speak to the feckless theologian. The divinity student has dozen bad habits and a firm conviction that Saint John the Apostle slumbers in the regent's grave. The theologian's tent is the largest of the three. Its interior has been decorated with carpets and throws which trap the smoke from his hookah. The air is a scented fug. Is this a word I don't know, or is this a typo? What's a fug? The theologian is reclining on cushions, drinking wine. Am I being played? Is this supposed to be fog? I don't know why I find it funny. Let's ask about the dismal paleographer. Old tragedies, the theologian smiles innocently. Yes, we used to know each other very well indeed. This was back at college, before all his passion got sucked out of him, he sighs. Some people can't accept change. Interesting. Let's ask about the classicist. Ambition. She's very talented and very funny, and not at all nice. She's furious with me. Why, he won't say. I think I've done enough damage with both of them. He shakes his head. If it weren't for St. John and the academic senate sending me here, I doubt I'd have seen her again, until she became principal, of course. Let's ask about his study. Why does he think that St. John is buried in a forgotten tomb in the high wilderness? The Golden Legend. The theologian's eyes widen. He's delighted to have been asked that question. According to the legend of Bria, St. John is sleeping somewhere, waiting for the coming of the Antichrist, which would mean the end of the world. And what is the high wilderness but that? We left the world behind and the stars are going out. And just after we arrive, we discover a tomb hidden in an ancient wood. He runs a hand through his hair. Sometimes we must have faith. Okay, so now that we have learned about the Three Stooges, let's ask them how we can help. The scholars intimidated that you might be able to help them continue their explorations into the wood. Your inquiries induces a rare spirit of cooperation in the scholars. The last expedition into the woods found a document written in the correspondence. It contained directions to a place called the Steward's Font, the theologian explains. Alas, that is all it needs to break their alliance. The paleographer begins to argue that the steward was chief position in Charlemagne's household. The classicist makes a pointed reference to Inanna's husband. The theologian's smile is forced. If you could find the font, it would be an immense boon to my work. There are sputters of protestation, our work. You can begin expeditions into the deep of the wood. The steward's font, interesting. Okay, so we've spoken to all of them, and I'm gonna have a funny guess that whenever we finally do find this thing that we're looking for, something bad's gonna happen. So we could maintain a caged catch. Gather flowers. Slumber in the wood. Starlight slivers the branches above you. Birds call quickly. Rest. You may gain visions of the heavens. Let's go for it. Nice. This hill overlooks a river that courses its way into the deep wood. The rushing sound is soporific. The ground of the hill is cool and soft as freshly laundered linen. You wake entirely refreshed. Your dreams drift away like balloons on the wind. There's only the dim remembrance of starlight washing over the hill like a silver tide. And we can't do them because we need time. Okay, cool. So we could go into expeditions, or what's rises behind the station where a few tents have been set up. What's the parting glade? Explore the glade, write a port report. Ah! There's no one here, but perhaps someone will take an interest in how the wood fares. Outside the Somerset camp, a great forest of bronzewood trees has gone untouched by human hands. Voices sound in the deeps of the wood, forlorn and far away. The wood is vast and vastly lonely. We could explore the glade. Birds trill in nearby trees, and the sweet scent of flowers pervades the air. There's no one else here at present, but there are signs of recent passage. A discarded set of cups from some clandestine picnic, loose paper hastily torn from a notebook, a few bullets in a scorched grass. People come to the glade to conduct meetings as neutral ground and as a place to think, secluded from the watchful gaze of the high wilderness. Interesting. So we can also explore the deep wood. So, you go for a small expedition. You'll risk fewer crew, but increase the chance of failure. You'll risk more crew. How many crew? It's first how many crew you wish to take with you on your expedition. The more you take, the likelier you're six, with the risk of losing them all. Okay, so we risk losing half of our crew. It also requires 2 supply and 2 fuel. We can buy. We can buy supplies, but not fuel. I think we might want to come back to do this. I actually need additional fuel. Yeah, let's come back to do this. Because I'd like to actually continue exploring up this way. So, really quickly though. Yeah, that's the only other thing we really need to do here. I guess I could grab... I mean, no, I can't, because... Okay, so we have 30 days to come back with Moolah. Let's explore. I'll go ahead and use the bat. And apparently he has found something down there. Sure. A king, his cup. So that's interesting because I think that's what they're talking about. I wonder exactly why the driver came here then. Do we have amiable vagabond? Which one's the innocuous driver? We can only gamble with them. I don't really want to do that. Okay. Yeah, this is the right way. I wonder if this is the location we're looking for? Probably not. It's probably just something to explore. That's spooky. Scavenge. What did we just pick up? That's not where I would go to check that. What the heck is he charging up? Okay, I'm hoping that if I go this way, I might be able to find something else. And we did. Going in the direction that we're already headed. Good news. I'll go a little bit longer, see what we can find. We've so far been relatively successful, at least for recording today. Though I do need to find a way to get unseasoned hours. Although I think that's what those rocks at the bottom are for. Something grave behind here. Okay. I don't think the thing we're looking for is in this direction. But I'll continue to look. Yeah, we're like on the edge of the map. Ooh. Well, that kind of sucks that this goes just nowhere. Now, was it east, northeast, or northeast east? East, northeast. So actually, that direction of that thing, something grave, is actually more likely where we need to go. So let's go that way. So like down here-ish. I'm hoping we can actually find it before I have to end this recording. Of course, we could go buy polymers in plenty. Let's send out the bat again. Has nothing to report. Oh. So now I've just got it on cruise. It seems like we have a distance to go before we really get anywhere. Why is it like lighting up? Trade an uncanny specimen for a cache of curiosities. What's a cache of curiosities? I don't know the value of either of these things, so let's leave. My terror has fallen. What the heck? That looks like a thing. No, not actually a thing, just looks very much like it's a thing. Where have we wandered into? Well, that leads somewhere. Ooh! Hey, we can mine this. Okay, that was the thing we were looking for. Yeah? Yeah? I'm gonna... Oh, that sucks. Okay. Von Zessen Waste. So I think we're gonna make a quick stop to Palmer and Plenty. And then I think our next goal would be to then go up here, because I think the area we're looking for is somewhere up here. You know, where there's a horror. Where's the dock? There it is. Okay. Well, that is the end of this episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.